What I thought was a casual date to sketch turned surreal when I saw my boyfriend transform into a giant wolf. Then he told me, "You are not human, you are a hybrid of a werewolf and a vampire." Ava, I always believed that I was a typical girl. I spent hours buried in literature while I was a scholar at Duke University. Research, classes, and the occasional night out with pals were the mainstays of my life. But today was different. I asked Nikolai, my boyfriend of 2 months, to accompany me since he knew the place better than I did. We went into the woods behind campus to pick a landscape for my next painting. I lost track of time as we continued to travel until Nikolai led me to a gorgeous lake and wonderful clearing. As I busied myself with art, I experienced an odd force in the air that caused the hair on my arms to stand on end. "What's wrong?" I asked as I slowly stood beside him. "Ava, listen to me. Whatever happens and whatever you see, you have to keep staying close to me. When I move, you move. Don't run away unless I tell you to. Got it?" Nikolai warned. I slightly tugged on Nikolai's shirt to let him know I understood, and I exhaled slowly. Just then 3 enormous wolves materialized in front of us. Strangely, their eyes gleamed with intellect I couldn't understand. I instantly froze, unsure of what to do. These were different from the wolves I had read about. They appeared to be almost real, supernatural. A part of me wanted to run, but I knew if I did, I'd be easy prey. When the largest of them all strode toward us with its pointed fangs, my heart began to rush. "Oh my God, we're going to die," I yelled at the top of my lungs. My body froze, and all I could do was watch in terror. But just as the wolf leaped, Nikolai stood tall, a fierce look in his eyes. Before I could process what was happening, he transformed into a massive black wolf. So I stumbled back, terrified. Soon teeth clashed and growls filled the air as Nikolai fought too. One had successfully lunged itself at me, causing me to fall to the ground, screaming for help. My left arm slightly caught inside its mouth. I thrashed, punched, and yelled in pain, fighting for my dear life as if sensing distress. Nikolai suddenly slashed at my attacker's head and neck with its massive claws before biting down on its throat with sheer force. He fought all 3 of them as if they were no match for him, and when he had killed the last of them, he suddenly turned to me. He stood in front of me staring. His eyes glowed like 2 burning embers in the dark. I thought I was losing my mind. I had spent years in my cozy dorm room at Duke University studying and focusing on my future, but this was beyond anything I had ever read. My boyfriend just turned into a wolf. "Don't come near me," I shouted when he took a step toward me. He snarled, then shifted in an instant. Nikolai transformed back into a man. I stumbled back, my breath hitching in my throat as I screamed again. This wasn't a nightmare. This was real. He looked right at me and said, "Ava, please trust me. I am not going to hurt you." I blinked, not knowing what to think now. "What are you?" I asked. "I am a werewolf. I'll tell you everything you need to know, but I have to make sure that you are healing first," he explained, pointing at the arm that the other wolf had bitten. "Why should I trust you? You are not even a doctor, Nikolai," I questioned, still terrified. "No, but I need to check on your wound." He took slow steps toward me and held his hand out, waiting for me to make the next move, his brows furrowed at the sight of my bitten arm. "I promise I am not going to do anything to hurt you, but you have to come with me because your bite wound seems to be dangerously spreading." As if on cue, a burning sensation radiated from my bitten arm all over my body, causing me to gasp and scream in pain. My bones started cracking in different places all at once, for what felt like an eternity. I wailed and squirmed in pain, my skin stretched and tore, and I felt trapped in my own body. It was pure agony. "Have a breathe," Nikolai stated as he held me down, his grip firm but gentle. The pain ebbed and flowed like a tide, and I was caught in its grip. My muscles twisted and my bones rearranged themselves. It was like being reborn in fire, and when the agony finally faded, I lay there trembling and confused. I managed to ask, my voice barely above a whisper. Nikolai's brows furrowed. "I wish I knew how to explain it. You were bitten, but this is something else." "What do you mean?" "It seems that the bite made you turn into your wolf form several times, but that wasn't supposed to happen to someone like you," he vaguely explained, causing me more turmoil. "Can't you just get straight to the point?" I demanded. "You are not just human, Ava. You are half werewolf and half vampire."